This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, Jayden.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
good.
Okay. Did you like the Python game we played yesterday?
Yes,
Did you continue after the class or?
yes.
Oh, okay. How far did you get? What level did you get to?
I don't know.
Okay, okay. But you went pretty far yesterday. You went past level 11, and that was what I expected you to at least get mastery of, and you did. You went way further than that, so good job. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about operating systems. Do you have any idea what operating systems are?
Uh, I think I beat the level or something.
Okay, so operating systems are basically like the interface for your devices. They help your devices interact with the hardware. They help the hardware and software components of your devices interact. So that would be like Windows operating system, you know, or for mobile devices, we have like Android and we have iOS. So those are examples of operating systems. Now, Linux as well is an example of an operating system. Now, today we're going to talk about Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a very useful operating system. It has many functionalities that help cybersecurity experts carry out their operations. And understanding Linux systems generally is a very good way to get a grasp of other operating systems and how computers work. Learning about Kali Linux and Linux operating systems, sheds light on the fact that every device's operating systems, everything on a computer is basically files and folders. Every single thing is represented in a file, and we see that in Linux a lot. Almost every modification you want to do to your computer can be done from here. We're currently in the terminal. You see my screen, right?
Yes,
We're in the, let me see if I can reduce that. Yes, so you know that this is an application. So we're in the Kali Linux operating system, and this application in the system is called the terminal. And we get here by clicking on this. We click on this and then we open our terminal. Now there's so many cool things we can do in our terminal, including, let's do something really quickly. Let's do PWD. So PWD stands for Present Working Directory. Anything you type in your terminal, and for you to execute it, you just need to press enter. Okay, so enter. And that tells us where we are. You see that result that says home Kali. So we're in our home and our user name is Kali. Now we can do something else called LS. LS basically means like list the items in your current directory. So what directory are we in? What's our present work directory?
Kelly.
Yeah, and then we want to list the items inside our directory. Okay, so do you see all of that? This is what we
Yes,
have this is what we have in our directory. Generally, when you're working on your computer and like you're typing up stuff and creating documents, you would want to store them in your documents directory, right? Huh? You would want to store them in your documents directory, right?
yes.
Okay. And in order to leave, so we're in Kali right now. If we want to go into documents, what we need to do is use the command cd. And cd stands for change directory. Okay, pwd is present working directory. CD is change directory. So we're in Kali and we want to change our directory from Kali to documents. So here we type CD, then space, then documents. But here's a really cool trick. In Kali, in most Linux distributions, when you're typing the terminal and you're typing something that, the computer can recognize, especially file names or folders, you can type just a little bit and press tab and it auto completes. Did you see that?
Yes.
So we have documents, CD documents, and then we press enter. So now let's try pwd again. Let's see what that gives us. Present working directory. Oh, look at that. Where are we now? You see that we're now in our documents directory. Okay. Okay, we're in documents directory. Now let's see what we have in our documents directory. So we do ls again. Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, it looks like we have nothing here. Cool. That's fine. Okay. Now we can create files directly from our terminal. You can use commands like touch, right, or nano. So touch is used to just create the file. Okay. So let's create a file, and I'm going to call it my name. So touch Fabian. And when creating files, all files have extensions, right? And extensions are used to tell you what type of file it is. So Fabian.txt means create a file of a file with the name Fabian. And what type of file would that file be? It would be a text file. So that is what .txt means. Are you clear on that? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Great. So .txt clarifies that it's a text file. Do you know of any other file extension types? Okay. Have you heard of? You have a question? Yes. Go ahead.
Can you create one name, please?
Oh, yes, I can put your name, of course. Okay, let's use your name. Jayden.txt. Oops. Jayden.txt. Okay, cool. So do you know other file extension types?
No.
Okay. So there are many other file extension types. Like for pictures, we have .jpg. Have you heard of that before? JPG?
No.
Okay, we have PNGs as well. We have SVGs. Okay. We also have like all web pages are actually files. Do you know that?
No.
They're files with the .html extension. So the .html at the end of the file name makes that file a file you can view on the internet, makes that file a website. So that's why file extension names are very important. So now we're creating a text file and our file name .txt comes after our file name. So let's press enter and see. Okay, so we have created a text file named Jayden. Now let's check if it's in our directory, right? So what do we use to check if it's in our directory? What do we use to see the items in our directory? What are we going to type right now?
Document.
L.
LS.
LS, exactly. Let's go. Great. So look, our file is there. We have jayden.txt in our document folder. Okay, now let's see what's inside. inside Jayden.txt. See what's inside, we can do CAT, that's simple, cat, cat, and then we'll type our file name. Now watch me do that thing I talked about earlier again. I told you that when you're typing a file, if it exists on the computer, all you need to do is press a tab, and then it will autocomplete. And this is useful for like long names, because some files can have like up to 10 characters. Instead of you typing all the characters of that file name, you could just press the first letter if it's unique and then press tab. So did you see that? I just pressed tab and then the file came up. Okay, so let's do that. Cat Jayden.txt. Enter. What do we see? Nothing, because there's nothing in our Jayden file. Okay. So now let's go into the file and actually make changes. Let's do something cool. Let's write something in the file. Okay, let's do nano Jayden. Do we type the whole thing? No, we just press tab and then voila.
Yes.
Great. So now we're in the Jayden.txt file. There is nothing here. So let's something. Tell me something cool. Let's type. Tell me a story or something. Let's type in the Jayden.txt file. If I says that my name is Jayden.
My name is Jayden.
Okay.
I'm a sixth grader. And I love to play basketball.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yes, that's cool. We can work with that. So how did we get here? We use the command nano space Jayden.txt, and then we opened a file that we could edit. And we have edited this file now. How do we leave here with our changes saved? If you look at the bottom of my screen, you can see little arrows with G and then help. Do you see that? You see
Yes.
all this? Yeah. Okay. So this just says what to do to the caret sign before the letter means control. And then the letter afterwards is the letter you press control with to do the action here. So to exit, we do control X. Okay, so control X. Now it's asking, do you want to save modified buffer? That means, do you want to save this new text here to our file? And the answer would be yes, because that's what we want to do. So we type Y. And now file name to write, Jayden.txt. It's confirming again. Press enter. And now we have saved our file. Okay. So we have a file called Jayden.txt. And now let's try cat again and see what we have inside. Okay. So cat Jayden.txt. Oops. Wait on. That will work. Okay. Tab, enter. Great. So you see the cat command works now. Do you have a question, Jane?
No.
Oh, okay. So cat Jayden.txt displays the content of our file. Okay. Here's something else we can do. Okay. So let's do ls. Let's create another file in our directory. Okay. So to create another file, what command would we use, Jayden?
CD.
CD, so CD change is to change our directory. Okay. So CD is to go from one directory to another directory. If we're in Kali, we want to go to documents, we use CD. If we're in documents, we want to go to images, we use CD. Okay. But to create files, we can use touch or we can use nano. So we used touch before, let's use nano now and to create a file. And let's call the file Jayden2.txt. Jayden2.txt. Okay. There we go. So let's say something else. Okay. I am now a cybersecurity expert. And I got here and I played a lot of fun games along the way. Let's say that. Okay, how would we exit this file now, Jayden? Control X. And then Y, letter Y, and then enter. Yeah, enter. Okay. So we have two files. Let's make sure we have two files, right? Let's check our directory and see how many files we have. ls. So we have Jayden2.txt and Jayden.txt. Okay, now let's try something. Let's get into something interesting. Before we get there, let's do something. So we have typed all these awesome commands, right? And they were all there before, but now they're gone. How did I do that? Just type CLEAR. Are you following, Jayden? So if you
Yes.
type clear and press enter, everything you've typed will disappear. But if you want to see them again, if you want to know what you did a few steps back, you want to remember what you did to get where you are, you can use the command history. Okay, if you just type history, you would see all the commands you've typed, to a certain period of time. So I believe today we started from, let's see here. We started from there today. So you can see all the commands we typed to get us where we are. We currently have two files, Jayden.txt and Jayden2.txt, and they're in the documents directory. And you can see all the commands that got us there. That's how we did that. That's our history. And if you want to run a command again, all you need to do is do this. If you want to get a command from your history, you just type an exclamation mark and the number associated with that command and press enter, and then it would show up again, and then you can press enter and then execute the command. Okay, so now this is, we have created two files. Now let's get into something more security related. So the files on your computer have permissions. Okay, you see all of these things here? Do you see the R, W, R, R? Do you see that?
Yes.
So, yeah. So these represent the permissions that people have. Okay, so the first set is for the owner. The next set is for the group. And the next set is for others. So we have three sets. Okay, so let's do chmod 777 Jayden.txt. Did you see what I just typed, Jayden?
Yes.
So chmod is used to modify this. Okay, can be used to modify that. Now that we have typed chmod set 777, let's see what happens when we do ls-l again. You see what I see?
Yes.
So before we had RW, RR, but now we have RWX, RWX, RWX. Do you know what that means?
No.
That means that for this file, Jayden.txt, every user, you the owner, can read, write, and execute it. Other members of the group of this file can read, write, and execute, and others can also read, write, and execute this file. Okay. Now let's assume Jayden.txt is a top secret file, and we don't want random people to see it. We want only you, the creator, to be able to see it. How do we do that? We did chmod 777, so everyone could see it. Now we want only you to be able to see it. So we're going to do the same thing we did before, but this time we're going to have it set to 700. Okay? I'm going to explain what the numbers mean better in a few, but right now we're going to work with it. Okay, so now we want only Jayden to be able to see the content of this file. So chmod 700 Jayden.txt. Now let's see ls-l. What do we have? Look at that. So only Jayden has the right to read this file, to write to it, and to execute to it. I don't have other users right now to demonstrate that this actually worked, but I can guarantee you that it does. So if someone is in your group, they won't be able to read, write, or execute this file. If they're another person who just has access to your file, they will not be able to read, write, or execute it. So that is what these permissions mean. They're very important. They have a lot of weight. As an individual, you can go a long way to protect yourself and your data, your information on your computer by using these simple modifications. Okay. In cybersecurity, they're referred to as access control lists. Okay, and it's it's a very important concept in cybersecurity, access control lists, and something we're touching lightly right now, but we would go in depth later. So now let's understand how the numbers work. Okay, they're really fun to work with. So let's do this. So let's do 7, 4. Okay, 0. Let's see what we get. Okay, now let's dash L. Okay. So do you observe what just happened, Jayden? Do you see
Yes.
what happened? Great. So we had 700 here, and then it gave all the permissions to Jayden and took away all the permissions from everyone else. But when we added 4, it gave read permissions to groups. Okay? And that's how it works. So it's basically 4, 2, 1. So read is 4, write is 2, and execute is 1. So if you add those numbers up together, we have 7. Okay, so let's picture that. So we have read, which is R, write, W, execute, which is X. Okay? Read, write, execute. And then the first set is for the owner. Second set is for groups. R, W, X, others, R, W, X. Okay. And then what are the numbers associated with these commands? We have 4, 2, and 1. So if the owner's permissions are 7, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. So if the read represents 4, write represents 2, execute represents 1. If we add all of those up together, 4 plus 2, that's 6, plus 1, that's 7. That gives us 7. So what does that mean that this owner has permission to do? If the owner's permission is 7, then they can do what?
Multiply.
They can read, they can write, and they can
Execute.
Correct. So let's give another example. If the group's permission is 4, then what can they do? Because if there's 7, they can do it all. They can read, they can write, they can execute. But if there are only 4, then they can. If there are only 4, then they can what? What can they do if the only permission they have is number 4? What can they do?
Read.
Yeah, they can read. Great. And if this user only has number 1, the others can only do number 1, what would they be able to do?
Execute.
Correct. So that's basically how it works. So if the groups also has 7, what would they be able to do? What do you think they'll be able to do?
Write or
Yeah. So when the owner has 7, they can read, write, execute. If the groups also has 7, then the groups can read, write, and execute as well. Right. So the way it just works is the numbers add up. Does that make sense?
yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. So you could always come back to this to make more sense of it. So that's what I wanted to share for today. This is just a little introduction to Kali Linux, and by our next class, you would be doing this by yourself. I mean, based on this material, you'll be able to create your files while I would guide you on creating the files and stuff like that. And we would explore more in-depth concepts and interesting aspects of the Kali Linux operating system. Okay, so I would like for you to go to a link that I'm about to share in the chat, and it takes you to another operating system, and it's an interesting operating system that has many functionalities like games and puzzles and quizzes, and I think it's something that you would benefit from. It would give you the idea of how operating systems work. So I would share the link right now in the chat, and I hope you have fun with it. Also, the commands I typed in the terminal today, since this is a recorded class, I don't need to send the text file with all the commands, but if you need, I can do that as well. Okay, so I just sent a message in the chat that you can click on. Do you see the link in the chat?
Yes.
Jayden? Okay, cool. Click on it and feel free, just have fun on the application.
Need help.
You need help? Okay. Do you want to share your screen so I can help you?
Oh, I can't click on it. Give us a second. Let me help you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to do that. Yeah. Yeah, see the screen?
No, I do not see your screen.
Check it with the line second. Okay, there we go.
Good, I see it now. So click on new user and then um, create your username and your password. Yeah, next. Um,
Next.
yeah, and yeah, just click on the new user icon. Yeah, click on that. Yeah, and then type your name, any cool name you want to remember. Yeah, and then next, and then create a password with the images. How many?
13, 34.
Okay.
What is this?
Yeah, just yep, and then yeah, and then have fun here. Just you could press X. You could just close this and
Why is it?
Yeah, so have fun, click on any of the activities. This is an operating system that has a lot of fun stuff for you to explore.
You were defeated. Oh my God, LeBron James. No. Wait. Muted. I think you're muted. Hey, Mr. Fabian, I think you muted.
Yeah, I was muted. Okay. Did you have a question?
Huh?
Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. So, I sent another link in the chat, and it's a coding game. It's pretty fun, and I think you can, get to as many levels as you can before our next meeting next week. So I want you to have fun with this operating system and also have fun with the coding game. Does
Yes.
that sound good?
Okay.
Good. Okay. And also, the link I sent earlier with the hour of code where you played Flappy Bird, that link is open, and I encourage you to go there and have fun as well when you can, because there's so many other games there that can help you get coding ideas and just get a feel for how coding works. And it's also fun, to win-win. Okay,
Okay.
cool. All right then. I guess we can call it a day now, and I'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right, bye, Jayden.
Bye.